Welcome to the Relaxed Dog Podcast, the podcast where the dogs are the stars of the show. Welcome to episode 71 of the Relaxed Dog Podcast, sponsored by therelaxeddog.com. Thank you very much for finding this show. I am your host, Robert Ober, and I hope that you and your dog are well. This week, my guest is Cherie Marquez, and we're going to be talking about some chaos. But first, in some doggy news, a street dog in the state of Kerala in southern India is very lucky. Unfortunately, they had a landslide, but the rescuers that were going along parts of that landslide were attracted to some barking, and they found this dog buried up to its head. They believe it might have been there for about 2 days. She also had a couple of pups nearby. They dug her out, cleaned them all up, and family is doing well. So lucky dog there. Over to the US, and in Lincoln, Nebraska, I think she's a Maltese or a Maltese mix. Sasha was with her elderly guardians as they were doing an RV trip. They were stopped in a park. And unfortunately, Sasha escaped. Now, the park, their neighbour, was one of the people that are involved in a local lost and found pets Facebook group. So within a matter of hours, the post went out to its, I think, something like 14 or 15,000 members. And a lot of local people were then aware, and a lot of them actually came and started looking. Unfortunately, it was 11 days later when one of those members was near the campground and they found Sasha. They sighted Sasha. The group then set out some traps, and Sasha was caught and then returned to her guardians. I know that scenario is replayed, unfortunately, many, many times all over the world. And on behalf of the guardians with dogs that get them returned, I'd like to say thank you to all the people that are involved in all those groups that go out and look for other people's dogs and return them to them. So thank you very much. And just before we go to this week's interview, I'd just like to ask if you've previously listened to any of the episodes and had some enjoyment from them, have you told anyone else about it? I'd really appreciate you spreading the word so more people can hear how awesome dogs are. And here's this week's interview. Welcome to the Relaxed Dog Podcast. I am here with Cherie Marquez. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
It is
so blessed to be here.
My pleasure. So, whereabouts in the world are you?
I am in Hollywood, Florida, Southeast Florida.
Oh, very nice, very nice. And who are we going to talk about today?
We are going to talk about my beautiful Chaos, and he is an angel watching over me, but he is just my heart. He was my first boy.
Oh, nice. As per usual, I'm going to ask you to take us back in time to just before you met Chaos and tell us about the whys and the hows that happened.
All right. So my ex-husband and I, we had a we had a King Corso Mastiff, and her name was Indigo. And I actually got him the dog and surprised him with the dog. So about a year later, I'm originally from New Jersey, so I was up in New Jersey visiting family. And when I came back on my birthday, and my ex-husband had surprised me with a 3-month-old, beautiful Staffordshire Terrier or Pit Bull, but and that was my surprise. That was my birthday surprise, and it was the best gift ever. And let me just tell you, when you name a dog, really think about the meaning of the name, because I named him Chaos, and he lived up to his name 100%.
I was going to ask.
He lived up to his name, and he turned out to be the most amazing protector, and he always was the biggest lover, no matter what the discrimination is with pit bulls. He was just pure love, but just getting into everything.
So when you say puppy, how young?
He was 3 months.
3 months.
Yes, 3 months when I got him.
And how was that first few weeks?
Well, I mean, it was, first few weeks were great. I mean, I was just in pure bliss and like, oh my God, he's so beautiful. And then just the regular puppy issues of housebreaking and chewing and play biting and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, first couple of weeks were great. Just getting to know him and having him socialize with Indigo as well. And Indigo took to him very, very well. They were awesome brother and sisters.
So how old was Indigo at that time?
She was probably a year.
A year, yep.
Yeah. So she was about a year. And so the first couple of months were fine, but then once he really started getting into his teething stage, that's when the destruction started. And he was chewing on everything. Anything he could put, I mean, no, typical puppy, but for him, it was over the top, because when he was in the crate, it was just the wired crate. And he managed to realize that if he pushed with his head in the back of the crate, that it would open. He would be able to unlock it on the bottom and squeeze his body out without the crate falling or
sneaky.
collapsing down. So we would walk into the house. He would be so excited to see us, and all 4 walls of the crate would be up. So I didn't find out how he was doing this until maybe 2 years later. I was like, that's how you do it. Oh my gosh. So needless to say, while he was out, and the crazy thing was that he was fully housebroken at 6 months old, but we couldn't trust him out and free until he was over 2 years old. Mm-hmm. Because of the destruction. So he chewed on crystal ornaments, Christmas tree ornaments, but they were like literally crystal. So he chewed on them, and luckily nothing happened. He destroyed a whole CD, like a whole big, huge CD case with amazing CDs and great mixes that like are so hard to find. And one day he ate the drywall of the hallway. And every single time that he would, like, we would walk home, like, walk in the house, he would be like, hey, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see you. So, like, okay, I did this, but I don't care. I'm coming to give you love. Mm-hmm. Give you lots and lots of love. It doesn't matter.
So were they created in a particular area?
In the family room.
Family, yep. And that were they also slept?
No. Because he was housebroken, he was able to sleep in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. They had their own big beds. So most of the time they would sleep together. So, nice. Yes.
And what about, did you have a yard?
Yes. So fenced in backyard. So he was able to enjoy the backyard and loved his walks. And besides the destruction, he was extremely well trained because I'm a dog trainer. I've been training for 21 years. So he was extremely well trained. But what I tell all of my clients is if you cannot trust them, then they need to be on a watch inside the house, which is on the leash inside the house. So they can't sneak off to have an accident or to chew on something. But when you can't watch them, even if it's for 1 minute, when you have to go to the bathroom, then you put them in the crate or their confinement. Mm-hmm. So even though I was a dog trainer, it was just he wasn't able to be trusted. So that's why he was confined or on a leash inside the house.
Okay. So you mentioned the walks. What was the local walk like?
Around the block, around the block and around the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. So he loved his walks and seeing people and other dogs. He was very friendly.
Is there a local park or anything like that?
No dog park. Just the walks. And then like my the facility that I rent out space to do the training, then he would enjoy going there because they have outside pools. So he would be playing in the pool and catching leaves and running around the yard nonstop. So it was.
So that was.
He always had a good time.
Taking him to work with you.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, him and my other dogs, they were, as soon as we were pulling down the street to get to the facility, then they were crying and like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Yay. So it was great.
So at what age did you start taking him there?
Probably, I would say like 6 or 7 months. Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of interaction with a lot of other dogs there.
Yes. So lots of interactions, lots of socializing. He had plenty of socializing with other dogs and puppies and all breeds and ages and sizes. So walking into the house with another dog was no issues whatsoever. Of course, he had a male dominance where if another male dog would react to him, then of course he would step up and react to them. But he would never be the aggressor.
Okay.
Most of the time he would be like, "Hey, wiggle butt," and like wiggle body. And he loved to jump up, not on people, but jump up and kiss your mouth. So it was just like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So he'd be jumping, get closer and just like give you a big wet kiss. It was like, that was what he was known for.
So did Indy go down there as well?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. All my dogs. I mean, at the time we had Indigo and Chaos, and then we got other dogs as well. So all the dogs love the facility.
And did Chaos get any develop any special friendships with anyone down there?
Not that I remember, no. But I got my dog Emma. She's still alive, but Emma's going to be 10 years old tomorrow.
Wow.
So when I got her, they totally bonded, and they were attached and slept together and there was so much love. But the awesome thing with Chaos, that was before Emma, before I got Emma. So when I was pregnant with my son, he was so attentive and so protective. Like, he just knew. All dogs have a sixth sense, so they know exactly what's going on. Plus the pheromones that I was releasing, he just knew. So he was extra protective. But then when my son was born, he was so amazing, like so gentle, and let my son Angelo do everything to him. Ride him like a pony, grab his ears, grab his tail. He'd grab his ear and he'd always make a whimper, like a whining, oh, like when he would like touch it hard and you're like, oh gosh, leave my ears alone. But he was absolutely amazing with Angelo.
How old was he at that stage?
Let's see. 3. He was 3 years old.
Oh, so still a puppy.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. So he was only 3, so they were able to enjoy each other for sure.
So do you have any favorite toys and things like that sort of like that he didn't destroy?
Well, for a while it was like empty marrow-bones, and I would put peanut butter in the middle of them. But because of his jaw strength, he was a very lucky dog, because the things that he swallowed didn't get them lodged in his stomach and then would throw them up was absolutely amazing. So like I said, crystal ornaments. With the marrowbone, he managed to, after having it for a while and chewing, he managed to break apart the marrowbone, even though it was a good at least 5 inches. So solid bone, he would be able to break that apart, and then, not so smart, he would swallow it and then throw it back up. So luckily, there was no internal damage, or he had a stomach of steel. That's for sure. So once he did that, then I switched him to the antlers, like the deer antlers.
Yep.
And he wasn't able to get through them at all. So he loved chewing on those.
I usually wait till later in the program to ask, but since we're talking about a few things that he's eaten, could you complete the sentence? Like, I can't believe my dog ate.
I can't believe my dog ate the crystal ornaments, and like they were gone. I mean, I don't understand how he was able to chew them and swallow them, and just like nothing happened.
Very, very lucky.
Yes.
Was there any trips to the vet that you had to make for other instances?
No. Luckily he was healthy as all healthy can be. And unfortunately how he passed was he had a bulging disc in his back, lower back, that we didn't know about, because like all bully breeds are they mask their pain so well that we had absolutely no clue that, like, you know, there was a bulging disc, and unfortunately from one day to the next, within 24 hours, I guess the bulging disc ruptured and his back legs were paralyzed. So, you know, at 70 plus pounds, I said, like, when it happened, I mean, within 24 hours it happened, but then, like, you know, it was at night of trying to make him comfortable. And then, but then I finally took him to the emergency vet. I was waiting for my vet to take a look at him. So I went to the emergency vet, and when they said that to do surgery, like to get his legs back and get his, because he wasn't able to stand up to go to the bathroom. So the surgery was only a 30 to 40% chance of him getting movement back, or, like, you know, not being paralyzed in the back. And it's just not fair to him. It wasn't fair to him to lose his dignity like that, and so quick for it to happen and not understand what was going on, you know?
So how old was he when that happened?
8.5. So he was still young.
Yes.
So 8.5 years old, and it was extremely hard, but I had to, you know, make the right decision in regards to his well-being, because he was in such good health for all 8 years. So the confusion of not being able to walk was intense. And I mean, like, you know, I had energy, like, myself, because I do some energy healing as well. So I was doing some energy healing, and then my teacher that I learned from, she was doing some energy healing, and then I was talking to an animal communicator, you know, just to help me with my decision. And then, you know, that's when he confirmed that, you know, it just happened so fast that he was just so confused why he wasn't able to move, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I was there when he passed, unfortunately. But he's my angel. He's our angel watching over us every step of the way. And I have his pictures and his smile. He smiled all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And you would actually tell him, yes, smile, smile. And he would full on grin. It was great.
So what were his favorite games?
He loved playing with the ball and fetching. Yeah, I mean, fetching was his favorite, but also like just his zoomies. So when he was excited, he would just go in zoomies and like run around in circles and like, yeah, oh gosh, I'm so excited. And like literally, like, you know, be running as fast as possible and ollie off the walls, like, yeah, let's go. So he was so happy.
So did you go on trips with both of them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We would. Our favorite was to go to Key Largo, either Key Largo or Isla Morado, and it was about an hour and a half, 2 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a Scion, so all the back seats folded down, so they had the whole entire back seat, and we would fill everything up, and you know, it would just, they would love it. So car rides, he absolutely loved. And once he got there to wherever we were going, he was smelling and just like so excited just to be a part of the trip and just be with us. So it was fabulous.
Did you guys do hiking or stuff like that?
No, it just relaxing at the water. And you know, it was the two main places that we would go was there weren't a lot of people, so we kind of like had the beach bay area to ourselves. And so like, you know, he would come up to the water and like look down and see the fish swim in, try and catch them.
Mm-hmm.
So
how was he swimming?
He liked it. Definitely. He liked it. And he wasn't the type that like you couldn't get him out of the water. It was more or less just like he'd swim and then he'd come out and shake off and then he'd go back in, and you know, so it was in and out. Because there's plenty of dogs that you cannot get them out of the water, or you have to pull them out of the water before they get too tired. So,
Did you ever find any interesting items on the beach?
Nothing that fully stands out, but I mean, like, you know, plenty of the jellyfish down here are all different sizes, and the big ones are like, even though they're dangerous because of their stingers, but they're beautiful. I mean, like the man o' wars are like all different colors and iridescents and purples and stuff. So so that's the main one that I can really think of, but nothing extraordinary. Of like finding some buried treasure on the beach. That would be nice.
So do you have
that would be nice.
Any sort of encounters with other species?
Well, he Chaos was was raised our own cats, and he was great. I mean, like, you know, he was great with them. Let them snuggle up on him, and like I said, puppies. I mean, like, he accepted all puppies that were welcome to the house.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If you had to think if he had a favourite spot or favourite place, what would you think that would be?
I would say in his bed, right next to me in bed. So that was his favorite spot for sure.
Nice spot.
Yes.
And what about outside of the house if you went away somewhere?
Most of the time he would stay at the facility, and everybody loved them over there. So he was welcome all the time.
Did he have a particular job at the facility?
He was like the greeter of like, hey, how you doing? Woo! Like, you know, his tail was making drum noises. The drum roll, please. Hey, people are coming. Dogs are coming. Woo! So between the drum roll of his tail and the wiggle body and the smile, he was very welcoming.
Did you do any specific type of training with him?
Well, I mean, he was good with just basic training, but I mean, like, you know, the off leash training, he listened to my commands with just hand signals. So, you know, I can be 20 feet away, and if he was on a sit, I can get him to lay down, come sit. So he listened very well.
Mm-hmm. What would be one of the happiest moments that comes into your mind that the two of you shared? Well,
first, the surprise of getting him was my favorite, and he, my ex-husband picked me up from the airport with him in the front seat with a red bow around his neck, and that was an amazing surprise, amazing gift. And then just his curiosity and his love when I had Angelo in my arms and we were doing the introduction. You know, he was so inquisitive and gentle, and you know, it was just so special because he was my first boy, and then I had Angelo as well. So,
and did the pair of them have any interesting adventures?
Just so much love and so much. It was just play and love. I mean, you know, even when Angela was like running around, and you know, and Chaos was running after him, he, you know, you can tell him easy, slow, like not necessarily, he didn't know slow down, but like easy, you know, just because of course, Angela's energy amped Chaos's energy up. So the two of them were just like back and forth, running back and forth, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, a toddler running is not always stable. So, so it was definitely very cool to see his reaction of easy. Like, you know, he knew to slow down when I gave him that command. So, but the love was unconditional, for sure.
Nice. Were there any times where he showed his protective nature?
Oh yeah, especially on a walk. So on a walk, if he didn't like the energy of the person walking, you know, he would start barking, or pretty much for the dogs, you know, the people that were walking the dogs, if the other dog was being reactive and barking at him, then of course he would start. But then, you know, once because sometimes if I saw the dog coming towards me, then I would just put him on a sit, stay quiet. So, you know, the dog had to walk by. But let's say if a person was coming from behind and from behind us and, like, you know, startled both of us, then of course he would start barking. Just because it was just just a sudden, like, hey, where'd you come from? Whoa. But I mean, like, you know, even inside the house, I felt very protected, for sure.
Okay.
Very, very protected.
And what about things like grooming and things like that? How was he with that?
He was great, but the pit bull hairs are like needle thin, or actually thick. So like needle thick hairs. So there would be hair everywhere, but like literally sometimes I would step on one of his hair and it was almost like a cactus hair was stuck in my toe.
Wow.
Or in my foot. Like that's how sharp and like thick and sharp they were. So yes, there was chaos hair everywhere all the time. But he loved the Furminator and the rake. The rake brush. So the rake brush is cool because, you know, it's got the handle and then it's got like a metal rake teeth points. And the amount of hair that would come out, and like you can just sit there and brush them and brush them and brush them and no problem. There was one time though that there were actually like a few times. I didn't do it a lot, but I did shave him down. So his hair felt so cool and less shedding. Like there was no shedding whatsoever. So that was a good break.
Okay. Did he have any particular or peculiar habits?
When he get really excited and, like, you know, he would do the zoomies and just like run, like run in circles and all over the place. And then sometimes he would start chasing his tail because he was so excited. So he was goofy. Mm-hmm. He was goofy and playful, and he was the best proof that, you know, pit bulls are amazing dogs, and the people are the reason why they become aggressive. It's not the dog; it's the people who make them aggressive. As long as they're raised with so much love and socializing with many people, kids, animals, noises, distractions, crowded places. I mean, as long as they're socialized, then they're beautiful. They're absolutely amazing.
Absolutely.
Dogs are angels put on this earth to bring us into the present moment and give us as much love as possible.
Not going to argue that at all.
Yes.
Any other sort of instances or adventures or anything coming to mind?
No, I mean, I think once we got past the for him, what I always say is Labrador Retrievers and Pit Bulls are puppies until they're 2 years old. So once he was done with the puppy stage and getting out of his full-on mischievous ways, then he was absolutely fabulous. But getting past the chewing stage of his puppiness, he was absolutely amazing. Amazing and beautiful and wonderful and fabulous dog. A fabulous part of the family, 100%.
Was there a time when he made you cry?
Probably in the beginning stages of his life when he destroyed something that that I mean, I got really upset with the CD case, because it was there were certain CDs that that were special, and I guess I made the mistake of just putting the putting the CD in, and sometimes I would put the sleeve, just with the name of the mix, but then there was plenty that he destroyed everything, the paper and the sleeves and the CDs. So I don't even remember what was in there. I knew that there was amazing things, but it was just the loss of oh man, come on. So I mean, I don't think he necessarily made me cry over what he did. I think he was there for me to cry with him. So, he was my support. He was my rock going through hard times. So, and he was always my emotional support at that time. Always knew when I was not feeling good, or just knew when to stay calm. So,
did you find there was a difference with Indigo and Chaos during those times?
Yes, I felt that. I felt that Chaos was more receptive, and just we had a stronger bond, and we had that soul connection for sure.
Is there anything else that's sort of coming to mind that you'd like to share?
No, that he was absolutely wonderful, and the pictures and videos and the memories are always what lasts. And of such an amazing experience to have my baby Chaos. So I'm forever grateful for the best birthday gift ever.
Mm-hmm.
So, for sure.
Well, thank you very much for sharing all about Chaos. It's been an enjoyable conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on. And I feel very blessed, for sure.
Did you want to just let people know some links and where to find you on social media?
Yes, please. So I am the Dog Mystic, and you can find me at thedogmystic.com. If you go to on the Dog Mystic page, there's a courses page, and I have a free course that is all about problem solving and the correct way to pet a dog. I also have a paid course about housebreaking. If you're having any issues with housebreaking or extra destruction in the house, then so I have some courses. And my LinkedIn is Cherie Marquez. And then my Instagram is Dog Mystic Academy, as well as my Facebook is Dog Mystic Academy. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Dog Mystic Academy. So that would be fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you very much again. Take care.
Have a wonderful day and evening and wherever you are in the world, and be safe.
Thank you very much for listening. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Thank you to our new listeners in Helsinki in Finland and in Brisbane, Australia. If you'd like to check us out on the Facebook group, you can make some comments or suggestions. If you would like to leave a review, please do so. But most importantly, I'd like you to share this with a friend. So you can hit that share button or just tell someone about the show. Until next week, stay safe and remember, your dog is family.